Hey, what's up? This is Odolena from Odolena Digital, and today is Sunday, time for another video. If you're new to this place, please subscribe to the channel. We post a new video every Sunday on topics like books, personal development, non-fiction, business, courses, as well as online marketing, pay-per-click advertising. I work for Google as a Google Ads specialist. However, everything that I share on this channel is my own personal opinion, personal view. It has nothing to do with the official statement of the company that I work for. As having said that, today I want to talk about a topic which has been really in the headlines the last few weeks. There's been a lot of emotions, a lot of difficult conversations. I wanted to take some time to research the topic on my own and understand really what's going on before I come with my video. So today I want to talk the topic of discrimination on color, racism, and online marketing and technology. You as a marketer, you might think, well, I'm a good person, I accept everybody, I treat everybody equal, it doesn't apply to me. But to be honest, this is such an old and deep stereotype, such an old construction in society that we all, especially white people, we all have it. We all have unconscious biases which have happened in the past, and sometimes even unintentionally, and most of the time unintentionally, completely innocently in your own point of view, you might actually offend someone and in worst case contribute to a perpetuation of old stereotypes, of old discriminations. In order to beat this whole discrimination and to gradually change the world for better, it is up to each one of us to educate ourselves, to correct mistakes, to correct others, and to understand really that it's a very complex problem, and never to exclude yourself completely. There is this conception that a racist person is like a serial killer, KKK hooded crazy person, and a normal person can never be a racist. But that's not true. I did the test myself. I have unconscious biases, so it takes me a little bit longer to associate a good feature to a black face. It's like it detects like semi-seconds between your association times. And yeah, it is showing that I have some unconscious biases, which I'm aware of. I have always lived my life as a white person. I don't know what it feels to be a black person. I live in the UK, which is a very diverse, in London, which is a very, very diverse city. And UK has a huge history and very important role in the slave trade. It's built really its wealth to a big extent on slave trade and production based on colonies and domination over people of color. So the topic is very relevant here in the UK, in Europe, and even where I come from in Eastern Europe. Even though we don't have this history of slavery and we don't really have many black people living there, the racial stereotypes exist in full extent, especially because people know so little about people of color. It makes it even more stressful for them to understand. When it comes to marketing, how can marketing be racist? Or have like some kind of discrimination in it? Very easily. Of course, the obvious example is ads which are targeting some kind of racial conflict, let's say promoted posts about some kind of controversial topic, like, or open hate speech. And these are easily caught. So all major tech companies have software which captures hate speech and kind of potential harmful comments or posts, so they never get really approved. Even on YouTube, sometimes you write me a comment and your comment will be held for review until I review it, and they would just pick out certain words, or like if the comment is very, very long and they ask me first to review it before it gets published. They're really working hard on these. However, there is this invisible racism which as a marketer you have also the control to some extent to perpetuate or to leave out. One example is in 2017, Facebook was researched because of racial targeting or excluding certain races from targeting. So on Facebook ads, you have this option until nowadays. You can target people by their ethnicity. So you can select you want to target white, blacks, Hispanic, Indian, American, especially for America. These are very specific segments. You can target different expats. So for example, me, Bulgarian in London, I do get ads on Facebook about a Bulgarian singer who is having a concert in London. And there's nothing wrong about this. But this type of advertising can be shrewdly used by certain industries, which are some of the gatekeepers and perpetuators of racial inequality. One example is the real estate agency. So real estate agencies and real estate industry has had a really long and significant role in the segregation or separation of white from black or certain ethnicities from the others into specific areas of cities. That's why we have black neighborhoods, that's why we have neighborhoods with a lot of colored people, and we have significantly white neighborhoods which tend to be richer. So one of these mechanisms is called racial steering. So what the research discovered is that basically advertisers from real estate industry were using Facebook targeting opportunities in order to exclude black people from certain type of ads. Let's say when they advertise ads for a white neighborhood, they would not include these audiences, or they just deliberately exclude Latinx or black people from their advertising. Another example is job applications. So here in the UK, you can, for example, advertise job for a senior level position. It's no secret that senior level positions tend to be less diverse. Like we have more men, more white men, and definitely less black men, and even less black women in such positions. And there is actually in the recruiting business, I know some recruiters, they would come, like some company will come to them and they will say, we are looking for C-level executive, but we want a WASP, meaning white Anglo-Saxon person. And sometimes they say, and we want a male WASP. So they are already coming with this kind of purely racist attitude. And if you are, let's say, a recruiting company, you might choose to say no and they go to your competitor, or you might choose to actually comply with this and continue the racial stereotyping. And same with advertising jobs. This can be done through targeting with this kind of tools, online tools, in order to exclude certain type of people out of your targeting. And at the moment, this is not possible anymore with Facebook or Google. However, the problem is still there. Because another research was done in 2019, last year, and they didn't select any audience for their advertisement. They just let it like this. We want an ad, let's say, for selling a house. And Facebook's algorithm on its own selected to show this ad to 75% white people. And when they were advertising houses to rent, the audience was much more mixed and balanced. Let's say they would show the ad equally to white and to colored people. So this is an example where racial bias has gone deep into the machine learning, because algorithms are as good as what we teach them. They learn from us. They learn the good stuff from us. They learn the bad stuff from us. The goal of an algorithm is in order to create an ad which is going to resonate. This is going to get the right candidate. Let's say from machine learning, they tend to know that white people from certain background are going to respond to this ad, and maybe from feeding live data, let's say from the real estate agency, let's say adding the revenue, you can upload the data, let's say how much you made from your ads, from your leads. If you're collecting leads, you can assign values and upload back to Facebook. So Facebook understands that actually in that sense these ads are going to be more successful if they target 75% white people. But in that case, you perpetuate this kind of old stereotyping, and in a way it is unintentional or intentional racial stereotyping and racial discrimination. Same was done with jobs. So the study showed, interestingly, that they posted some jobs for lumberjacks. 72% of the audience that Facebook selected automatically without any human intervention was white, and 90% was male. So the lumberjack has to be a white male. Then they did a job advertising for a cashier, 85% women, so the cashier must be a woman. And then the taxi drivers, guess who was the selected audience? Facebook automatically showed the ad to 75% black male audience. So this is actually racial biasing, which algorithms and machine learning technology is learning from us, because machine learning is basically as good as what you feed into it. It feeds on data. Basically, it's this machine that eats data, it eats results, it reads numbers, and this is how you speak to it. It is, in a way, it is unbiased. However, because we are biased and we create the data which is fed into the algorithms tend to be biased. And this becomes a huge problem now when more and more technology is coming in our lives. Things like facial recognition, like Google, for example, had a big hiccup with facial recognition, where their face recognizing app, basically when you scan your face and you can show like who you look like which celebrity you look like, or like kind of use the image search, and when you scan a black face, like there were some gorillas showing up. So this is basically based on the data, like what is coming in, like what do you feed this algorithm with. And because we are feeding it day in and day out with biased data that's we are producing, basically we are in control, we are perpetuating the process, the algorithm learns from us, and it kind of closes the circle because it continues to advertise to these audiences which have traditionally worked, and kind of feeds in more into this, so like it continues working. And then in the future the algorithms will there is the danger that in the future the algorithm will completely exclude certain people. Let's say governments start using algorithms for designating where to have more police control, they will over police certain neighborhoods. So there are a lot of dangers with the information that we provide, because machines are learning from us. They are as good as we are. So as long as we recognize our own faults, as long as we try to change this and to build also digital products that include everybody, that are built for everybody, there is a chance that we stop inequality and we live in a better world. For example, the way you teach children, you have to understand that you are also, with your daily actions, you are teaching machines. And as our future is going to be largely dependent on machines, the fairness that we exhibit today is going to be built in the products of the future. This is all from me for today. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you find this content relevant for you. I'll be back with a new video next week. Thank you so much.